Good evening, brother Mojo.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to be with you.
Yes, I appreciate you taking the time out in your busy day, your schedule, for giving me the time so I can ask you a couple questions. Not only, for myself, but, for the audience and everybody who's going to watch this video, how important you are in the music industry, your legacy, what you have done throughout your career, um, the lives that you have changed with your music and your presence and aura. And I welcome you to the show, welcome you to the channel. And it's an honor and a pleasure to have you here. And I thank you very much, first and foremost.
Well, it's an honor to be with you, my brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Brother Mojo, what really, not to sound cliche, but what really motivated you to really start playing um, accordion, getting into music? What really catapulted you to say to yourself, like, this is what I really want to do with myself?
Well, it started a long time ago when I decided what I wanted to do in life. Um, I was raised up in a traditional 1950s style family, and our family would meet every week. We would get together at my auntie's house. This is in the days of early television. There really wasn't a lot to watch on television, but um, the entertainment after a meal could include a television show because there were some evening television shows. But usually, what happened after a meal of the family was that kids would entertain myself, my cousins. We all entertained the family, and it became a kind of a ritual development in everybody's life when you were old enough to do something to make everybody smile or laugh or whatever, speak on something, play an instrument, just make people happy with your talents. When I was 3 years old, it was my turn. And my mama asked me what I wanted to be and what I wanted to do on my turn to entertain the family after a meal. I said I wanted to be Elvis Presley and I wanted to sing You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog. That was the deal. So I had a little sport coat. My mama got me some saddle shoes. I wanted black saddle shoes because I thought brown saddle shoes were not so cool. But I got the black saddle shoes. We couldn't tell what Elvis was wearing anyway because it was black and white television.
Right, right.
But the one thing I didn't have was a guitar. So I spent my time before supper crawling in my auntie's kitchen cabinets. Now, this house was built in 1929, and the cabinets, a 3 or 4 year old kid could stand up inside the cabinets. So I was in the lowest cabinet against the floor, and I was crawling through all her pots and pans until I came across a long handle skillet, an iron skillet with a real long handle, flipped it over, and it became my guitar. And that's what I used. I remember entertaining that night, singing You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog and acting like Elvis Presley as much as I could. And the end result was everybody was laughing, they were clapping, they were crying, they were screaming, they were having a ball. And I realized at that young age, that is something I want to do for the rest of my life.
So Elvis had a real profound influence on you when you first heard him,
Yeah, Elvis
basically.
had a profound influence. Little Richard had a profound influence. We used to watch Liberace. Liberace had a profound influence. I got to admit, Lawrence Welk did not have a good influence on my career.
I totally understand. So you grew up all your whole life in Louisiana.
No, I came to Louisiana as a young man.
Oh,
I
okay.
was born up in Minnesota and left there as soon as I got my education. Really haven't been back very much at all. Uh, it just is a very cold place, and I wasn't happy with the cold. I grew up way out in the country, far from town, and it was a pretty, let's say, a freezing experience to grow up in Minnesota. But I'm still working on growing up. Mom always encouraged me to do so, but I told her I would do it after her, and she passed on at 93 before she ever grew
God bless us all. God bless
up.
us all. I understand. So at that time, how was the music scene out in Louisiana at that time when you started really seeing, like, because I know there's a big, big music scene out there. How was it for you? What did it really catapult you to, like, I want to do this, and I can do it.
Well, the beauty of it was that I had lots and lots of experience. Started performing professionally at 11 years of age, and really played just about every American genre you could think of, from folk to country to blues to rock to jazz to gospel to everything you could think of. I was doing it. I was primarily a front man when I was young, mainly singing, playing horns. And when I created Mojo and the Bayou Gypsies 41 years ago, I decided that I wanted to make an all original amalgam of all the music that I've experienced, created, delivered, produced, performed, and do it as an absolutely original and unique entity. And when I said I was going to do that, most of my colleagues in industry said, you're going to go out of business. And the
Hmm.
beautiful thing is now we're starting our 41st season, and
Wonderful.
they're all out of business, and I'm still here.
Wonderful. Isn't that ironic how life is sometimes, right?
Well, Daddy always said, son, don't listen to him. Just keep your head down and keep doing what you're doing.
That's right. That's right. And now, as far as your shows currently, do you go on tour or do you do private events? Like, what is your schedule looking like now? If somebody wants to come see you.
We do primarily just the cream of the crop right now, one offs. It's got to be something that's going to hit a home run for the audience, hit a home run for the venue, and hit a home run for us. We don't stay on the road. We've tried it all. Back in the old days, we performed as much and as often as we could. And then as time went on, and I moved through the industry from, I started playing high school dances, church dances, private parties, things like that. And then we moved into nightclubs, did nightclubs for years, all the way up until 1994. 1994 was the last time we played in a nightclub. And that was, we had worked ourselves up to the number one music nightclub in the United States, according to Playboy magazine. And the sad part was at the end of the night, even though we had an unbelievably madhouse, packed house, full out, sold out, unbelievable crowd, they wanted to cheat me out of my money.
Oh,
And I remember I did ultimately get my money and then walked into the dressing room and announced to the band, this is the last nightclub we ever play.
hmm.
And indeed it is. So the only time we've played in a nightclub since 1994 was for a benefit.
I understand.
We moved into the corporate events, special events, and festivals. We played those until 9/11 in 2001, when you couldn't put more than, 8 or 10 people in a room because it was dangerous. We didn't know what was happening after 9/11. And right after that was the Enron and the similar scandals that came out. What happened was corporate events died because nobody wanted to open their books to the feds. It was kind of thing. How can you say you didn't make any money and then you had a $250,000 party?
Right, right.
Yeah, that was a tough thing to justify in the books.
Sure.
Our largest customer at that time was a major corporation, a restaurant chain, and we had inked a huge deal for playing after one of the top 10 football teams in the United States. After the show, we do post game show. Our client would provide the food, we would provide the entertainment, and we would hold people in a tent of 40,000 until they trickled out, and that way the roadways didn't clog, and we could control the egress from the football stadium. But that went down because our first show was supposed to be, I think it was September 15th of 2001, just 4 days after 9/11, and that didn't happen.
Right, 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 right.
And then we moved into the performing arts, and we've been playing big theaters as concert performers, headliners, ever since 2001, all over the world.
That's wonderful. And where do you get this energy? Your music has such a profound, energetic. I seen you perform. I play with you, and this energy. Where does that come from? Because
I don't
that
know.
it's just it's boogieing, man. It's boogieing.
Yeah, it's really a gift and an art. My friend Buckwheat Zydeco, his real name was Stan Durrell, and Stan said to my oldest daughter, when she was very young, remember, talent is a gift from above, but it's not for you. It's for you to make other people happy.
Right.
My whole goal, all of my life, with my music, with my performing, stand up, whatever I'm doing, movies, it's always to make the audience happy.
Right.
Give them. Oh, cool! Look at that. My hat disappeared. For anybody who sees this as a video, these backgrounds are fascinating, but if you move the wrong way, the green screen takes you out.
Right. 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 Right.
So
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
it's always been a matter of making people happy. And I measure my success by how many people I made happy in a year. Now that may be people in an audience, in a theater that we play at. It might be doing a benefit concert and feeding hundreds of people. It could be anything that our art lets us do that makes people happy.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And how do you select your band members? What do you look for in somebody like you see a talented kid, what do you look for in these particular your drummer and what kind of attributes do they need to bring to the table?
Well, I know this is a loaded question because Jason knows the answer to this question, but he also knows it's profound.
Yes.
My show, we are known for being together a very long time. And most positions, except for my position, we're maybe on the second generation of performer in that slot in 40 plus years. I'm the only one that doesn't have a sub. So myself and my rubboard player have been playing together for 35 years, maybe
Wow.
36 years. My drummer's been with me for 27 years, 28 years. My fiddler's been with me 22 years. And everybody that subs for them has been with me for decades. The reason being is just what you alluded to and asked with your question, and that is how do you pick someone to be in the show? First, they have to be a really great person, really good person, really great person with a heart of gold that cares a lot about others and is very good, a family person, a kind person, just a real upstanding human being, the best you can find. Second, they have to be a fabulous entertainer, a great entertainer, that they make other people happy and they know how to do it. And third and last is it's important, but really it's the least important thing. They have to be a monster player
Right.
because young artists who may be listening to this, you'll get a chance to play with really talented people who are just monster players. And, at the end of 45-minute show, you want to strangle them because you just can't stand their behavior.
Absolutely.
I don't want to do that ever again.
Right. And a lot of people don't realize how important a good attitude is, good energy, because it's like a marriage almost, and I know you know that firsthand. And you're 100% right what you're saying. So I agree with you 100%, you know. And so if people wanted to find you, what is some of your websites, or your Instagram, if somebody wants to look you up, how can they find you?
Well, the key to finding us is really pretty simple. You visit our website, redhotmojo.com, redhotmojo.com, redhotmojo.com. And that's really the entryway to everything. You'll find all our social media connections there. You'll find all our history and our music and videos and bios and reviews and photos. And it's just got everything on it. It's a living, breathing website. You don't find show information on there for a very simple reason. Years ago, it was always when the internet first came out and we had websites for our shows. Everyone published a schedule, and to this day, a lot of performers still publish their schedules. The problem was we blazed ground all over the world in theaters where no one had ever, like us, had ever been before.
Right.
The end result of that was people were using our website and our schedule as a cold call list to start calling theaters and say, "Oh yeah, we're better than Mojo. We charge less than Mojo. We can do this, we can do that." But unfortunately for them, they don't do what I do. I don't do what they do. I have no interest in doing what they do, but they definitely can't do what I do and what my show does. Mojo and the Bayou Gypsies is unique. That energy you felt and you saw and you witnessed, that's real.
Oh, I know it firsthand.
It's very hard to get 1,000 people on their feet in 20 seconds and have them on their feet 90 minutes later. And that's
Absolutely.
basically what we do. We make people happy. We take them on an emotional roller coaster, an experience that they've never had before and never will have again unless they come see us. We touch their hearts, their minds, their souls, a visual feast because we look like there's so much going on the stage. The sounds are unique. The sounds are absolutely intoxicating and exciting. And people just can't help themselves. They laugh, they clap, they scream, they dance, they cry, they just have a ball. And then they're so exhausted at the end of a show, they can't wait to do it again.
Awesome. That's also, it's very true what you're saying. Absolutely, because I definitely experienced it firsthand myself, and I see the reaction towards other people and
They
the
were screaming
energy.
about you.
No, no. But you have something very special, and you're right. It's definitely from a higher source, and you definitely capture the audience. That's for sure. So I commend you on that, and I tip my hat to you.
Thank you, my buddy.
Yes, sir. So you know, we touched on a broad, basic stuff. Is there anything else that you want to tell people? Inspire a young child just coming out, or a young youth, a teenager. Inspirational words that you have anything to say. That you may want to relay on to the young audience that may check you out.
Well, I'll tell you what, I will share some of my mama's words that really explained it all, particularly for young people. When I was in school, I was in trouble all the time, all the time. I couldn't do what they wanted me to do, and I really didn't want to do what they wanted me to do. I was a class clown. I was just having a ball, making other people happy. My mama always used to tell the story, particularly when I brought a woman home for the first time and she would meet her. She'd want to cook a meal, have us sit at a meal, have people around. And as soon as we would start to eat and that spoon would just rise up just before it would get in our mouths, she'd say, "Remember that teacher in the seventh grade that used to call me all the time and tell me there was something wrong with you, but she was going to help you?" And everybody would be mortified. And then she'd slap her hand on the table and she'd say, "Thank God she didn't help you, or you couldn't make a living."
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So just be who you want to be, express yourself, and the world will appreciate you. People may put you down on the way up, but they can't keep you down. So you dream as big as you want. You be who you want. Grow up to be who you want to be. That's what I did. That's what I encourage you to do because there's nobody else in the world that's exactly like you. You are unique. You are special. And there ain't nobody can copy what you do because you do it best.
Perfectly said. Well, I really appreciate it, Brother Mojo, for taking your time out once again for giving me a interview and explaining your story. It's always inspirational, and it's always a pleasure to have you here. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. And
Well, we scratched the surface. My
absolutely,
career is already 62 years long. And I encourage you to utilize every single gift you've been given. I'm
yes,
not just a performer. I'm not just a singer songwriter. I'm not just a movie actor. I'm not just on TV. I'm not just on recordings in the radio. I'm not just a producer. I'm not just a historian. I'm not just an educator. I'm not just a board member. The list goes on and on and on. Anything I could ever do, I was always encouraged to do. And I'll tell everyone out there listening now, y'all do the same. There's so much inside of you to share, so share it freely.
beautiful. Well, Brother Mojo, thank you again. I really
My
appreciate
pleasure.
it. And we'll touch base soon. This is just the beginning. We'll do another
Yes.
interview soon.
If I'm lucky, you'll have me on again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right,
Okay,
Brother
my
Mojo.
buddy.
Thank you so much. I'll talk
You
to you
got it.
soon. Have a good evening.
Y'all too.
Take care.